Question: should you watch the Star Wars as it stands, the 6 movies? Should you watch them chronologically from 1 to 6, or should you do it by release? So you start with A New Hope and with Revenge of the Sith.
That is a very contentious issue that's created a great schism within the Star Wars community. I mean, I have my own thoughts on this. Have you heard of something called the Machete Order?
Yes, we briefly went into that last time, but we didn't really explain it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess it's very much in the spirit of J.J. Abrams, considering that he's recuperated the whole Star Wars thing with this movie coming up. So
Yeah.
basically, the Machete Order is like, you know how it's like episode 1 through to 6.
Yep.
So if we consider the last trilogy as episodes 1 through to 3,
Yep.
I really feel like I need to have a whiteboard.
Draw a diagram.
Yeah.
Well, look, that's not in our budget. Maybe if we get famous, we can get a whiteboard.
Yeah, maybe I could do like a CGI thing.
CGI whiteboard.
Yeah, CGI whiteboard.
Anyway, so
green screen.
Yes,
We
please
could do this
explain.
while there's like blasters and Greedo shooting first and TIE fighters and shit behind us.
Jabba the Hutt chilling just for the sake of him being there.
Yeah,
Which I still don't get. That's, I don't know. It was kind of a cool addition, but it was kind of stupid at the same time.
It could be like, we could have like awkward 3D Jabba the Hutt behind us.
And go through the exact same conversation you had with the bounty hunter about 2 minutes ago.
Anyway, so what the Machete Order does is basically put the focus more on Anakin Skywalker rather than Luke Skywalker. Because the way that the Machete Order prevails is you've got episode 4, so Star Wars, episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and then we take a leapfrog back in time to episodes 2 and 3, and then we go back to episode 6.
Yeah.
Now, to unpack that further, the reason why it's doing that is because basically the shit hits the fan in Empire Strikes Back, right? Like, you know, I am your father. Where's my hand?
Yeah.
And all that shit.
I don't think that was in the actual script, but that was the subtext, that was implied.
Yeah, that was basically Empire Strikes Back in 3 seconds or less.
Again, spoilers for the 2 people who haven't seen Star Wars yet.
Yeah, sorry, but you'll learn. So what happens then by showing episodes 2 and 3? It kind of acts like a flashback, so a bit of context behind why Darth Vader does what Darth Vader does. So, to me, when you watch it in that order, he doesn't necessarily come as more an evil bastard, but more like a tragic figure.
The reason why I bring it up is because I was speaking to Lewis from Shanghai, and he said that if you watch it 1 through to 6, all like chronologically as it was apparently intended to be, you lose that whole. You completely lose the impact of Empire Strikes Back, the end of Empire.
Yeah.
You already know that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader.
Yeah.
You already know that he's Luke's father.
Yeah.
So, you know, all that is completely if you're watching Star Wars for the first time, you're going to lose that. It's like, well, we know.
Yeah, that's why the Machete Order to me is so important.
That's
because the big reveal is still there and you're like, and those 3 people who haven't watched Star Wars yet, they'll be like, but if you watch in chronological order, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I dig the Machete Order, because it does, one, it pretty much completes the whole Star Wars saga. And 2, it's just an awesome way to watch the movies as well. Like, from a filmmaking perspective, from what little I know of filmmaking, because let's face it, I'm not a very good filmmaker.
Well, you've carved it on your arm.
Yeah, well.
You've made a commitment.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to get a guitar next.
Oh, guitar.
For the next evolution. I'm like a Pokemon, man. I just fucking...
Better collect them all.
I just keep failing creatively, and then, you know...
You'll have like a sleeve of...
Yeah.
A sleeve of life.
Yeah. From a filmmaking perspective, the Machete Order works really well because you already you get the build up of the battle between the rebels and the Empire. You get the fact that Darth Vader is this fucking bad motherfucker who doesn't take shit from anybody, and you get your hero, you get your bad guy, you get your allies of the hero, and all that. That's all set up beautifully. And then at the end of Empire, you go back and you get all Anakin Skywalker's backstory, which kind of works, because I have certain feelings about Attack of the Clones. So it kind of works with the prequels, and then boom, you get your happy ending at the end of Return of the Jedi.
And no Jar Jar Binks.
Actually, I was reading something like, this is going to be 2 hours of fucking Star Wars. I can just see it. I was reading this thing where Jar Jar Binks isn't as stupid as, say, the unwashed masses think he is. There was this fan theory that said basically he...
Oh, careful about those fan theories.
Yeah,
we know how reliable those are.
Yeah, well, take this one with a grain of salt, because it's actually saying that Jar Jar Binks is, somewhat smart for what he is.
Okay.
Basically, the idea is that...
Misa cosa Mensa! Sorry.
He went to Mensa. That's the entire theory, really. He's actually smart. Basically, he deals, he has his dealings with the Force. 2, he's a tool of the friggin' Galactic Empire. 3, he knows how to fight in a friggin' battle.
Yeah, he like accidentally wins.
That's the thing, though. The theory is, as far as his fighting skills, though, the theory is that, we've got Jedi, which was based on, samurai and shit like that. Why can't there be a drunken master form of combat in... if we're going with Jedi are basically, intergalactic samurai, why can't there be a drunken master form of combat in a galaxy far, far away? And this is the theory goes, is that he has trained up in this, so he's so it's very sort of deceiving, and he looks like a complete dingus, but it is very, he knows what he's doing. And the idea behind him being force sensitive is that he can do all these fucking jumps and backflips and all this stuff, which he does do. Like, he does that big friggin' swan dive into a lake or something. I can't remember Phantom Menace for the life of me. He does this big swan dive and stuff like that. He jumps in the air, does a triple flip or whatever, wins the Olympics, and he goes on to beat Kathy Freeman in a 500-meter sprint. No. So he's basically... He is talented, he just comes off as a bit of a dingus.
Little bit of a dingus.
Little bit of a dingus. And then the thing with him being the tool of the Empire is that, yes, he comes off very friendly and stuff like that, but really he's being persuaded by Palpatine, Darth Sidious, I believe.
I think the names are interchangeable at this point in time.
Emperor Palpatine is basically, Jar Jar Binks' little master and stuff like that, which I don't, it was kind of cool, but it's still Jar Jar Binks in my opinion. He's not exactly the most liked character.
Well, he's a dickhead.
He is a dickhead.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think you're gonna have the odd fan theory. It's going to kind of support the case for Jar Jar Binks, but he's a dickhead.
Well, the reason that, normally I'd go Jar Jar Binks, but it was actually a really good theory, which was kind of awesome.
I mean, that idea of a drunken master, I reckon that'd be a pretty cool thing to explore.
Yeah.
But I think you've also got to consider the fact that I think a lot of the reason why Jar Jar isn't necessarily the biggest, the most popular character is because of all that minstrel stuff that he may or may not be exhibiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was kind of half thinking when watching the Phantom Menace when he stops doing his drunken master stuff, he'd go find a back alley and start playing craps.
Yeah, with the whole Misa, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Is that where that
Misa drew some dice.
Is that where that came from? Like the whole minstrel thing? Because I remember reading this thing ages ago that Jar Jar Binks was essentially just a racist stereotype.
Yeah, that's what I mean by minstrel.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not the first time we've seen minstrel transformers and.
Minstrel Transformers.
Let's-
I'd watch that movie.
Let's see.
I'd,
Sorry?
Transformers versus the KKK. I would watch the shit out of that movie.